I'm Elizabeth Gearhart. I'm here with Fireside, and I am here with Kathryn Smith with Walton Birch. Kathryn, what do you do and how do you do it?
Hi, thank you so much. My name is Kathryn Smith, and I work with small businesses and entrepreneurs to help grow their business with online marketing.
And you kind of fulfill the niche that other people overlook because you'll work with solos, you'll work with small, very small businesses, and you don't assume they have a huge marketing budget.
Right. I specifically seek out what I call micro businesses, or actually what are technically called micro businesses to work with. And those are businesses that have 10 or less employees. So a lot of the people that I work with are solopreneurs, sole proprietors, or very, very small businesses that may be in the startup phase, or maybe just doing this as kind of a part-time gig and not necessarily having started a business wanting to generate income, but as it's grown, you have to ask the question, how do I scale the business up? So I find them either at that startup phase or as they're at that growth phase, and help them to grow their business with online marketing.
Great. So, how long have you been doing this?
So I've been consulting since 2009, but primarily in the kind of web design space for small businesses. But in 2019, I actually incorporated my consulting company as an LLC and started working exclusively, or I guess more broadly, specifically in marketing. So that includes websites, but it also includes content strategies and social media marketing and search engine optimization, and really all of the things that kind of go into marketing a small business, especially a micro business.
Right, and you have pretty good credentials for this too. You've worked in corporate, you have an MBA. So, can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So prior to starting my own business, I only ever worked corporate jobs or for very large companies. All of the companies that I worked for were Fortune 500 companies based here in Atlanta. And I've worked in social media, worked in web design, worked in marketing as part of a team, and seen the way that it's done at scale, and seen some of the metrics that matter at scale, and how those directly contribute to growth or success or failure of a particular campaign, and then growth of the bottom line or revenue as it kind of contributes to the business. And so I switched from the creative kind of side of things, from web design and social media communications, to the more business side of things when I got my MBA in 2016. And my MBA is actually in business analytics, because I love kind of analyzing the data that kind of goes in. So how do we use data to make informed business decisions is the question that I found myself asking a lot. And the degree in business analytics helps me to answer that question. And that lends itself very well to marketing. And marketing is all about the numbers. Social media is about numbers, websites are about numbers, e-commerce is about numbers. And so having a business analytics background makes it very easy, or very good, like a very strong way to kind of help people grow businesses, because I have an eye for those metrics from working in corporate, but also an eye for kind of dashboard level analytics, from my MBA.
Excellent, right. And it was funny because I do marketing for Husband's Law Firm. When I first started doing it, I was talking to marketing people, and a lot of them were saying, marketing is pretty much just analyzing data, at the top levels anyway. And then you get somebody who will post on social media for you, et cetera. But the real crux of it really is data analysis, as you just mentioned. So that sounds pretty powerful. Um, so if so, somebody comes to you with a business, do you work with all types of businesses? Do you prefer like products or consulting or
I don't have an industry preference. A lot of the solopreneurs and kind of entrepreneurs that I work with manufacture their product in some way. So they're either an artist or artisan that makes their product, or maybe like a t-shirt company that prints their product but doesn't necessarily make the t-shirts that the prints go on. But there's some sort of element where it's very hands-on, and they are their brand. They are their brand and they are their business. So like right now I'm working with a few brands that are in the bath and beauty space, and then a few brands that are in the apparel space as well. So, um, and then one person that's working in, I guess, online courses, which isn't even really a physical, tangible thing, but it's still, she is her brand. So really just any business where like the person that owns the business or the people that own the business are very closely related to the product. And that can be a pretty broad definition.
Excellent. And when we were talking earlier, you said that one of your real strengths is that you know Shopify inside and out. So, how do you use that to help your clients?
I'm a huge fan of Shopify, and every time I talk about it, I warn people that I'm going to totally nerd out about Shopify for a few minutes, and that's just because I think it is a really powerful platform for e-commerce. From building WordPress websites starting back in 2009. I know that one of the biggest hurdles for small businesses to get online is kind of the technical ability that's involved with creating and maintaining a website. And so WordPress kind of lowered the hurdles for that when it comes to building like blog websites and static web pages. And I say that Shopify does that same thing for e-commerce. In the same way that you can add plugins to WordPress to add functionality, you can add apps to Shopify. But the strength of Shopify is that there are some very robust kind of e-commerce and marketing features already built in. An example of that would be that there's a CRM. So there's a built-in subscribe to our mailing list form on Shopify where when you put your mailing address in, it creates a customer in your database. And then just in custom web development or custom web solutions, a CRM is a completely separate piece of software than the actual website. So Shopify brings all of that into one place and adds on integrations to that. So for small businesses, I know another issue that small business owners kind of encounter is that they kind of piece together functionality. So they have this one platform here and this one license on this one platform here that does this. And, they have a relationship with the shipping, like a special shipping site. And there's a site that does the labels. And then there's a vendor that provides the product. And the Shopify integrations allow you to bring all that together in one place and manage all of it from one dashboard. So when I say it's powerful, I think powerful is actually an understatement because it allows the small business owners without almost any technical knowledge to bring all their business together in one place and do business online and also in the stores. They have a POS solution as well. So I really enjoy it. And the price, for small businesses is very small business friendly. So the basic Shopify plan, I think is like $29. And then you can scale up from there. And so you'll notice that there are some pretty large brands on Shopify. Some of the social media influencers that have millions of followers and are selling their merchandise through Shopify. Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things has a website where she's selling her products, and that's built on Shopify as well, which is like insane to know that Susie Q over here that's making cakes in her kitchen and Millie Bobby Brown are on the same platform. It's just insane. So it's a really powerful platform and I'm a huge fan.
Well, and I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm on Instagram because I have an Instagram channel that I'm going to be using to promote Fireside to the general masses. But there are ads on Instagram now, and I believe that I'm buying stuff through Shopify from the Instagram ads. Is that right? Yes.
Yes, there are several Shopify integrations that go along with the social media platforms. So Facebook and Instagram are the same platform now. So there's a free Shopify integration that connects your Facebook and your Instagram to your Shopify store. So you can sell things on Facebook and Instagram and still have manage the inventory through Shopify. There's also an integration with Pinterest that does something similar. And then there are also integrations with like TikTok and Google more generally for advertising. So there's advertising on all of the social media platforms, but there's also direct selling on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest.
And that, I got to tell you, is huge. I wondered how that kind of happened because it seems kind of new. Um, to me at least, maybe because I haven't been on Instagram for a really long time, but um, it's kind of like, wow, I can buy this straight from Instagram. It takes me to this Shopify site and it's pretty cool. So,
Yeah, so our Instagram rolled out, so Facebook/Instagram rolled out Instagram shopping, I believe early this year, so maybe in March sometime. And of course, they roll out everything slowly. So like the influencers and big brands get the functionality before everybody else does. But they rolled out Instagram shopping, which allowed purchasing directly through the app, but it wasn't connected to Shopify. So you could have a store on WordPress, you could have a store on Big Cartel, you could have your own custom website, and then list your products on Instagram so that people could buy them directly. The Shopify integration just allows you to do that through Shopify. So the shop on Instagram feature is separate from Shopify. So you don't necessarily have to have a Shopify store to have shoppable posts on Instagram. But Shopify just makes it a lot very, very easy to do that. So
I feel like you know so much about
I told you, nerd
honest,
moment. I knew this was gonna happen.
honestly, yeah. But for somebody that's starting out with a consumer product, I mean, how do you get people's attention? So you really, I feel like you really are really well positioned for people that are starting out, that have products, that don't know the tricks. It seems to me like you have this kind of secret knowledge, like these tricks and the language that a lot of people need, and they don't have a lot of money to, they can't hire somebody to do all this stuff for them, but it comes down to, I guess, starting with the website. So and then you said Shopify goes into the website, and then social media has to kind of integrate. You have to keep your brand the same over everything. So when somebody starts with you, what is the first thing you do? So let's say I was selling cat toys. I have cats. Let's say I was selling cat toys, which I do see ads on my cat's Instagram channel for cat stuff all the time. So I come to you, I say, Kathryn, I'm just filed my LLC. I'm a brand new company. I don't even have a website yet, but I want to do this. I'm passionate. I know I can make it work. What can I do? What's the first step?
That's a great question. And I think that's the question that probably 99% of the people that reach out to me have. They say, hey, I have this great idea. They may not even actually have a product yet, but hey, I have this great idea and I'm not sure how to bring it to fruition. Or, hey, I've created this product. How do I get it out there in the world? And yes, creating a website is more than half of the battle. Like you need an online presence that you own. And an Instagram is a way to do that as well. But I definitely think a website or even an email list is a way that you can start building up your audience. So you have your product and you need to put your product online so that other people can see it, but you also need to start building your audience. So the way that I work with entrepreneurs in that space is we work on building the website. We work on getting a very strong value proposition for the product. Like, who is this product for? Why is this product different than other products? And then describing it very well on the website, making the website experience very easy. And then also simultaneously, while we are building the website, we're generating excitement. We're finding people who are excited about cats and cat toys. We're talking to in cat enthusiast forums and posting on Instagram and Facebook about cat memes or things like that. Cat memes is like an entire category on the internet. But yeah, so we're generating excitement for cat toys and for our product, and we're giving people that recognition, that brand recognition, to say, okay, this is the Elizabeth and Kathryn's cat brand. And then you drop that kind of morsel of, hey, we're launching soon, so that by the time your site actually launches, there's already some interest. People have already put in their email address to say, that sounds awesome, tell me when those products are available, or yeah, I would love to shop a pre-sale, or even really, yes, just tell me more about what's going on with this, or send me more memes, or whatever it is that they're signing up for. So yeah, the building the website and then generating that excitement around the website and the product happen kind of simultaneously. So that's where it starts.
Okay, and you build websites. You sound like you know WordPress inside and out too.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time on WordPress, and I think WordPress is still like the gold standard for static or blog websites. So if you want to have a web presence and you want to optimize it for kind of search engines and discoverability through search, I still think WordPress is the best way to do that, because you can set it up, and it takes a little bit of technical knowledge to set it up. But once it's set up, I think it's pretty easy to maintain. And so I think WordPress is the gold standard for those types of sites. But for e-commerce, when you start WordPress, that's where WordPress kind of falls off, because there are multiple add-ins and plugins that need to be added to WordPress to make it an e-commerce site. And that's where things get a little bit crazy. So if you have a lot of time and a lot of technical knowledge around how WordPress works and how those different plugins work, then WordPress is still a good platform for you. But if you're just like, I don't have any time and I have no idea what an API is, then Shopify is going to be a much better option. Or really, there are other e-commerce platforms, but WordPress and Shopify are my two go-tos. So when I say Shopify, I really do mean other e-commerce specific platforms.
Okay, so really, you do have to have a way to sell. I didn't know that about WordPress because I've never tried to sell consumer products through a WordPress site. So that's really good to know. I mean, most people wouldn't have that knowledge. Like I heard WordPress is the best thing to use because it has the most plugins. So that's what I'm using for Fireside, but I'm not selling consumer products through Fireside. So if I was, I probably want to talk to someone like you first.
Yeah, so and like this is yet another reason. I don't know, like I just nerd out over this. So I have a website on WordPress. And it was a static website for the longest time. Like it wasn't transactional. The most transactional thing that needed to happen on the website was a contact form. But then one time I taught a marketing class. I do DIY marketing on Instagram. And so I did a DIY marketing or DIY Black Friday marketing class. And I was like, I need to sell tickets for this. How do I do this? So I actually started a Shopify store and attached it to a subdomain of my WordPress site. So my full site is still hosted on WordPress, but I have a basically a shop.website.com to handle the e-commerce part of selling, the tickets that go along with that. So I am a Shopify merchant and partner. Like I use this product that I help people with.
So, I mean, so this is the thing. So this is why small businesses need you because I'm not I'm not really I mean, I know that bigger marketing firms that are going for the big guys can probably help with this stuff, but they probably don't really want to and they probably don't use it themselves. And so someone like you who's really focused in on the smaller businesses and the solopreneurs, really you live the life. You've tested all the products, you know everything about it and you can really advise them. So it's very powerful what you have.
Yeah, and that power or empowerment is the thing that I'm going for. I teach that DIY marketing on Instagram. So I want people to be able to do the things for themselves. And even if I set up a whole Shopify or WordPress site for you, my ultimate goal is to get you to be able to manage that site yourself. So I come to it, with that marketing knowledge and with that business analytics knowledge and with the website building knowledge. But at the end of the day, we're going to build something that works for you. And the solution is not the same for each customer. And I know traditionally consultants like to kind of get in and get out and don't necessarily like to linger. But my goal is that empowerment for this segment of business that is often overlooked by other kind of consulting agencies, consulting firms and agencies. So yeah, just getting business owners to a point where they can manage their business themselves and use that data to make informed decisions about their business and about their marketing.
Right. So do you put together a whole strategy? So you do the website, you figure out the Shopify piece, you figure out the social media for them, and then they tell you how many hours a week they have to work on it, and you help them figure that out.
Yeah, it's flexible. So because this little segment of business, actually it's a huge segment of businesses, but a very large segment of small businesses has such varied needs, clients come to me at different points. So a few of my clients had brick and mortar stores and very successful brick and mortar stores and had basically no traffic when the shutdowns for the pandemic happened. So they're like, I have this very successful store. I have a very engaged email list. I have followers on Instagram. I don't have an e-commerce store. So I wouldn't necessarily need to give them, that strategy for how to build excitement around the product or the brand, because they already have that. It's really just educating people that this e-commerce option exists and making it very easy to get from, the traditional channels, traditional email marketing and, Instagram, Facebook marketing to this new website for the actual purchasing. So it really depends where the business is. But yeah, if a startup comes to me and needs a full plan for launching a brand, then that's definitely something I can take on. Not multiple of those at a time, because those are very effort intensive. But yes, I can, whatever kind of puzzle pieces need to go into there to bring that brand to kind of full schedule or full power is what I can do.
Excellent. Excellent. So, is there anything else that we need to know about your business, your marketing business?
Um, I would definitely say for those micro businesses out there that are wondering, hey, what can I do to market my business? Or, what would be the first step to follow me on Instagram? I do have a website, but it's, very much a business website. I think that a lot more of my personality comes through in my Instagram, which is at KRS_consulting. And that's where I do all of my DIY marketing tips. And I talk about small business and supporting small business. I'm based in Georgia, so I promote a lot of local businesses here in Georgia. But I think that's a great place to start. Don't necessarily jump all the way to, okay, what can you do to help me? The first question I would ask would be, what can you do, within the time and resources that you have now to market your business? Because sometimes a little bit of consistency goes a very long way.
Right. Well, I am definitely following you on Instagram and reading all your tips. Definitely. Sounds like you really know what you're doing. So excellent. Well, thank you, Kathryn. So this has been great.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me.